Wow. Man, what a win. I think Eric Reed put it well tonight that it was a big-time organizational victory for your Miami Heat, who beat the Warriors 114-98, led by none other than Jovic, dude. The Serbian Terminator himself, Nikola Jovic, finishes with 20 points. He was an absolute killer today for your Miami Heat and really just put the stamp on this one with back-to-back threes in the corner. He gets Steph to foul him on one of them, gives him the old DX chop. You know what that stands for, Steph. All right, he doesn't have to tell you. I don't even know if Nico is around. Was Nico, does he even know about D-Generation X? Hey, look it up on YouTube, kids, because I got two words for you. Jovic, dude. What a win tonight, man. They really, really needed this. And when Eric Reed puts it well, an organizational victory, yes, important that the Miami Heat bounce back from an absolute heartbreaker. A tough week. All the headlines, it just is nonstop, The Jimmy stuff is in the news cycle at all points. You know that Bam had called it an emotional roller coaster earlier in the week. So it's important to not only get a win like this, to erase the stench of the Jazz loss and the pain of the Kings loss. But you did it with the youth. You did it with the young guys. You got to do it with Nikola Jovic basically carrying you there in the fourth quarter. And a first half that was some of the best basketball we've seen this season. Back-to-back games here from Jaime Jaquez Jr. and Kel'el Ware. The minutes that he's finding with Nico. These young guys, these young first-round picks, that in today's NBA where you're needing to fill in the cracks and everybody wants to make big plays for big players, and Miami's sitting here and they're trying to figure out where they're going to pivot, where they're going to go in this organizational direction. These things are important. They're important, and you guys who know this channel know I'm a monster fan of Niko Jovic. I'm so happy to see that. Look, he had the starting role lost, right? This guy's career has been very, very fascinating, right? But he had a tough summer where he cracks his ankle, has a fracture, just gets there for his team. Don't really know how he's recovering. Don't really know how he's feeling coming into camp. He's had that ankle be a bit of a bother. He heard it in practice. He heard it in the game. Loses the starting spot. Loses rotational minutes. But there's something about this next wave that just comes so headstrong. He needs more minutes, dude. And I think it was my guy Simon Sperling. I don't know if this includes tonight, so forgive the stat if it's one extra or not. But, he comments on 5 Reasons, said they need to give Jovic more minutes. Simon points out 6-1 when playing 30-plus minutes this year. I don't know if that included tonight's win or not, but the point is the point. The team has a lot of success when this young man. He's just so much fun, man. Like, I understand every once in a while he's going to have games like the Hawks game where, he can make some score decision. He is 21 years old. And the height that he plays with, the strength that he's going at the rim with now, and the passes he can make, the way he can just find energy for his teammates, 2 bodies on him, pew, piss whistles right in the corner. The confidence that he rises up and shoots with. And then, dude, attacking Draymond Green today, like he is, it was a beautiful thing to see from Nico today. He really, really just had such a strong game all around, playing strong, playing the right way. But, I mean, Bam with that beautiful vine to him, and then Duncan finds him again. Just really, really awesome. And then he gets the big bucket and foul off a Duncan drive. Really, for Nico, huge. Because this game, it started to look like in that third quarter, it was going to turn the other way. And actually, it was a play where Steph put Nico on skates. For the most game, it was Haywood Highsmith on Steph Curry, chasing him around. Steph was awesome today, really up until the very end of this, after this bucket. Listen, he was doing a lot of the carrying for that Warriors team. Not a lot of offensive production on the rest of that roster. And he has this insane move where he puts Nico on skates, blasts right through Nico and Bam to get to the rim, and you're just like, cuts it to 2. There's about 9 minutes left, a lot of time away. Terry Rozier then gets teed up, brings it to within 1. And for Jovic to respond with those buckets, absolutely, absolutely huge. And given the DX chop right with Steph Curry there, right on the floor, was a monster. And I also got to give a shout out to Duncan Robinson. He was great today, and he had his 3-ball packed, but 8 assists today. And the work he did, especially in the fourth quarter, to Bam Adebayo to set his teammate up, was absolutely huge. The chemistry these guys have, it goes with the all-timers, dude. You're talking peanut butter jelly, spaghetti and meatballs, Duncan Robinson and Bam Adebayo. There's a symbiosis. There is a chemistry that just is forged and over all these years, whether it's the Bam setting up Duncan Robinson for 3-pointers or, crazy concept, somebody setting the big man up for some shots. But that's not to say, Bam had it going today. He came out of this first half. It's kind of lost a little bit because of the great first half by Jaime Jaquez Jr., who, just played at his own pace today, dictated stuff, just looked very, very comfortable, very, very confident, driving to the basket. He, too, was not afraid to go after Draymond Green. But there was a big-time shot from Bam in the first quarter where, Kyle Anderson hits a 3, brings it to within 6, and Bam, goes about it, right? He gets an offensive rebound. He has a string here where in the first half, big offensive rebound, took it strong to the basket. Then he gets fouled by Kyle Anderson, comes back, hits a jumper. Kyle Anderson then comes back, hits a 3, and Bam answers late shot clock 3, steps right into it. This is the one thing with him is you have to think all the criticisms that he takes, and I'm not saying that he's above them. When you're the max guy, when you have all that stuff, it just comes with the territory. But dude, some of these shots that he's hitting, you have to think that just water's going to reach its level. You have to with him. And for a lot of the times in his career, a lot of the times Bam has been a fast starter and then is kind of tailed off. So, maybe this is going to be the year where it all kind of comes around and hits him in a big way, and the basket starts looking like the ocean for him. But to get a win like this with all those young guys showing up, and to be fair, look, Tyler, you're probably thinking to yourself, all right, Tyler didn't have a big offensive day. Who are they going to look to? Because Tyler came into this one with a banged up knee. You weren't even going to know if he was going to go or not. So Tyler has a tough day from the field. You were going to need production from somewhere. And they got it, man. Just a great job of this team today when he had 32 assists on their 43 makes. And did a much better job of not allowing those second chance points. The offensive rebounding was still there for sure today, but it was also a rough shooting day for the Golden State Warriors. If your name was not Steph Curry, you were not hitting 3-pointers. You were laying a lot of bricks. So it was a little bit of a squirrely game from that standpoint too. But I just feel like this moment after the Jimmy Butler suspension, I don't know. Look, you can't trust this roster to go on a run. You just can't. They've just bit you in the ass too many times. But you're hopeful that this at least allows everybody to exhale a little bit, breathe a little bit, have a little sigh of relief. The Jimmy stuff doesn't seem like it's going anywhere. Hell, he may end up being back on the bench in the span of 10 days. Who knows? But if that's the case, all right, you got this Golden State one, second out of a back-to-back off a double overtime loss. That's gutsy, man. I don't give a rat's ass what you can say. I know this is not, 2016, 2017 Golden State. But Steph Curry was being Steph Curry tonight. He looked like he was going to get that building on fire. He looked like he was going to lead them all the way back. So they got the primo primo performance by their star. I mean, Steph tonight finished, what is his final numbers? 31 points tonight. He was awesome. It just nobody really came along with the ride with him outside of Trace Jackson Davis, who had that sick dunk over Kel'el Ware. But other than that, he was kind of a man on an island tonight for your Miami Heat. So collect themselves. Now it's time for South Florida to take Utah. You got the Cats taking on the Utes. The Utah Hockey Club tomorrow night. Well, I guess later tonight because it's 12:30 in the morning here. And then listen, the Heat owed the Jazz one, dude. I mean, they put a whooping on you on your own home floor. And they lost in a heartbeat. I don't know if you guys saw this tonight, but Trae Young hit a half-court shot at the buzzer. Oh my God! I do have to give a shout out to Haywood Highsmith, by the way, because he has now become the king now of the end of quarter putback at the buzzer. You gotta love the way that Haywood was hustling there today. Really, really great performance from him. And man, this is the one thing. You gotta find some good in all of this controversy that's around you. And the young guys flourishing like this, Jaime Jaquez, having this opportunity with Jimmy out. Nico just seems like he's going to be earning more and more and more as he should. And by the way, I really like Nico coming off the bench. I know that there's some thought of, hey, start Nico. The person I think they should be starting is Duncan. I think Duncan should be starting with Bam Adebayo at all times. I like Nico coming off the bench. I like the initial pairing of him and Kel'el Ware looking for each other. I love the passes they make to each other. It's mostly Jovic to Kel'el, but Kel'el had a nice one to Nico today too for an and one. I like that pairing, and then let Nico come in that and close it out with Bam. I dig that. There's some guy, you do need some juice and some dynamics coming off of that bench, and he seems to have a nice comfort with Kel'el. They're young. They can kind of play at a different tempo. You can throw up the crazy. I mean, he threw up this lob. I thought that Kel'el was going to break the damn backboard. He came down so strong on it. I like the idea of him coming off the bench. I dig it. I think they should stick to that. But Nico, the closer, the Serbian Terminator, there for the fourth quarter. This is something. Spo, just try it on for size, dude. You don't got to buy the shoes, but why don't you walk it around the store a little bit? See how it feels, dude. You might like it. Hey, and you might like it. Nice win tonight by the Heat. Great performance by Nico. Great job all around. Needed it. Hopefully this can get the road trip now on a better footing.